Right. Okay, today I'm going to be doing a super quick, super easy controller recoil tutorial. I'm going to show you how I do it, how I control my recoil, and what you guys do to get better recoil. So there's three types of recoil in Siege. There's straight horizontal or straight vertical, recoil to the right, and then recoil to the left. If your gun has recoil to the left, like Sledge's gun, you just have to pull down and to the right to counter it. You pull in the opposite direction. If your gun has recoil to the right, pull down and to the left. If it goes straight up, that's the easiest type of recoil. You just pull straight down. And there's a lot of guns in Siege that have straight up and down recoil. Those ones should be really easy. You just pull down, all it takes is just pulling down at the right amount, and controlling those types of guns is playing on the same sense for a very long time, getting used to your sensitivity and understanding it perfectly. The higher your sense is, the harder it's gonna be to control recoil on a controller. But you can still play on a high vertical sense and be really good at controlling recoil. You just have to get used to it. All right. I'm going to now show every single recoil pattern in Siege. Alright, so that was just like all the recoil patterns for the guns in the game. So I'm going to talk about controlling recoil specifically on a controller. Some of this applies if you're on a mouse too, but this part specifically is mainly about controllers. So when you're controlling recoil, I think about it in three ways. There's recoil that you have to pull down and to the left, there's recoil that you have to pull straight down, and there's recoil that you have to pull down and to the right. Sledge's gun, it goes down and to the right. As you can see here, the gun goes up and to the left in almost a pretty much straight line. So even though it has like a little bit of horizontal recoil, it's actually really easy to control because all you have to do is pull it down and to the right. Now, when you're controlling the recoil, you're gonna notice that it goes left and right a little bit. Like it's not perfectly like centered. I'm moving back and forth a little bit. And that's fine. Like the idea is not to get your recoil perfect, but just that it's good enough. Because if you're all getting your shots in relatively the same position, you're gonna win most of your gunfights. Nothing, or not nothing, but most gunfights in Siege you're not gonna just be seeing a little tiny pixel of somebody. So if this is your pattern, then that's alright. Like you don't want to focus, or you don't want to spend your time trying to have no recoil, because then you're going to give up a lot of other things. If you're building your sense to have absolutely no recoil, you probably can't flick, or you probably can't track very well. You're going to have no recoil, and you're going to win specific gunfights, but the majority of your fights are going to lose because your sense isn't built to do that. Now, on a gun like... I'm trying to think. Oh, like the Vector. This is a really hard gun to control because the recoil pattern, as you can see, it bounces kind of left and right, left and right, left and right. Honestly, the best thing to do here is you just kind of have to get lucky if you're doing a long spray. The best thing to do is burst, kind of like that, because you can see it doesn't have too much recoil. But if you're going to do a long spray, you just kind of have to get lucky. So for guns like the Vector, I wouldn't focus so much about having perfect recoil. This is more of a gun that you have to use a burst, and then you just have to get lucky when it gets to the end bits, because as you can see, it's like you would have to go down and to the right, then to the left, then to the right. It's just too much to think about, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. For a gun like this, don't focus on having perfect recoil. Just get it good enough. Let me see. Another really easy gun to control that a lot of people I see struggle with is the F2. So the F2, it does have a decent amount of recoil, but it's pretty much straight up. It goes to the right slightly, so I'd have to put it left. And this is a really easy gun for me to control because I naturally pull to the left a little bit. So you can kind of, once you get used to the vertical, you can kind of just beam with it because it doesn't have a lot of horizontal. Let me show the three types of recoil again real quick. So this is Sledge's gun. It goes up and to the left. And because it does that, you want to pull down and to the right. Like that. This is Ash's G36. This one goes just straight up. Really easy gun to control. And to counter it, you just want to go straight down. Let me think. This is Ash's R4C. The R4C goes up and to the right. So to counter it, you just want to go down to the left. So yeah, those are the three types of recoil you're going to focus on. Down and left, down and right. You don't want to focus on the zigzag patterns, like for a gun like the SMG-12. You can see at this part, it's not too bad. It's pretty much just straight up and to the left, so you just pull down to the right a little bit. But once it gets up to here, like late in the mag, it starts kicking left and right, left and right, left and right. So just focus about controlling the initial burst and kind of pray at the end. that you don't get completely screwed. If you can get your recoil decently tight, it should be all right. I mean, you have 33 bullets. It gets really bad after like the 20th bullet, so if you're spraying for that long, you probably lost a gunfight anyways.